to Paulshof, north of Johannesburg. Quite an impressive display.
With me, South African hero Alfie Cox, back from the Dakar already. Now, Alfie, it looks like you're pretty relaxed.
Yeah, there's been a long 17 days. Obviously I had that problem after the 4th day when I had the crash with my elbow. And it is good to be home. I mean, the greatest thing to come home, like I said, was to all the friends and the family that have met me at the airport. There's no better feeling to come home to the buddies. I mean, it's like doing the race.
We saw the doctor taking blood out of your arm. What the hell was going on there?
After the 4th day, I had quite a big crash in Morocco. These bikes weigh excess of 200 kgs, and there's no ways you can make a mistake on the bike. You can't just correct a mistake. And that day I was just going too fast and I ran out of road, and Morocco is the worst place, big stones. I ended up having quite a big crash, and I thumped my elbow. Somehow, I don't even know how I've done it, and it had constant bleeding in the elbow. And I'd come in every night and they'd have to drain it with a syringe. First of all with a syringe most days, and the last 4 days they had to do a drainage in the elbow. It was hindering me most days, but when you're going and the dice is on, you really forget about it. And I'm not going to blame my elbow. I still had a great ride, but I mean, the one day I was just in so much pain. We saw on the TV, and I had to ask the doctor halfway to take out the blood off the elbow.
Well, one day you lost a great deal of time. That must have been really frustrating for you.
Yes, the one day I sort of had a little slip down in the morning and severed the rear brake fuel pipe. And I meant to do 180 kilometers on the rear tanks, because you always start on the rear tanks first, and I only ended up doing 80. And then I realized there was a problem, but I'd already switched over to the front tanks. 10 kilometers from the refuel, I was with Mione and Saint, and it was a windstorm and a dust storm that day, and I ran out of fuel. But I have a 4 liters under the seat. That's a separate tank for emergencies. And by the time I got that all flowing and the bike running again, and one of the GPSs had stopped, and the other one's antenna cable had broken. So I had to switch the 2 GPSs over, reprogram the waypoint where I was, go back into my road book, make sure where I was, and before you know it, the time was ticking, and I was a little bit off course, and I had to come directly off course, not on the track, to the refuel. And it takes quite a long time, coming through the big stones, going over the dunes, and 10 kilometers can take you quite a long time to get to the point of the GPS where the refuel was when you're not on the course.
Now, Alfie Cox, how is he received this year in Europe?
Well, I tell you, I don't like to blow my whistle or anything like that, but I think Mr. Popular was the words that were going around Europe. I mean, I got such good coverage. The Spanish people came over and said that nobody else has been on TV except you, in Europe, in France, in Germany. I mean, even in South Africa. And I think we just come across a little bit better when they interview us. We give them a bit more interesting things to say. And the TV guy even said to me, these rest of these guys, they don't even know what to say when we interview, and you guys just come across so good. And for me, it's just been wonderful. I mean, I've been received so great overseas, and I don't think I can look back for a big sponsor when I go to the Dakar next year.
Well, it's tough for you, but what about your mate Vickers van Deventer on the quad?
Vickers knew what he was in from the last year. This time he went with no mechanic. Last year he had a mechanic. His life was just a terror from day one to the finish. I can't feel sorry for Vickers anymore, because he knows what to expect. He had a good sponsor from Gulwers Blonde. And, you can't go there and battle time after time every day. And he never put the road book in the bike. He never put the GPS on. He just followed the people every day, and he finished, he won his class, but he's never going to get recognition. And, he's just the hardest man I've ever come across. I mean, to go and beat your body to death like he did for the 2nd year in a row, I just cannot believe that a man can go and do that.
Well, how does the immediate future look for you at the moment?
I have a contract with Gulwers Blonde and KTM. Obviously, in South Africa, I've lost my sponsor with Gulwers Blonde because of the cigarette problem that we are having in the ban. But internationally, I go and do 4 rallies before the Dakar next year. Tunisia, Moroccan rally, I'm going to do the Egyptian rally, the Dubai rally, maybe the Master rally, then we're ready for the Dakar. And my new sponsor, Natro Fate, my friend Jake Alberts, has stepped in this year to help me, and I'm going to give him the best coverage I can, because we have to look after our sponsors, and people like that are very valuable in our sport.
Well, 4th in 1998, 3rd in 99. What about the year 2000?
David, I never thought that I could beat my 4th place. And I had a bit of luck in the end when Mione broke the engine. Coming 3rd, But it's not impossible to win that race. But the only way I'm going to get better is to go and do the races, which I now have the opportunity to go and do. And learning is the way I'm going to know what I'm doing. And, you know, I'm going to go back and give it my best shot. There's no ways I'm going to, because I need that win. The prize money is so big that we just can't imagine. Second place is the first loser. And I've got to go back and do this thing. I mean, I had 1 day's trouble out of 17. There's no reason why I can't go and have flawless days the whole way. And I'm going to just say my prayers and go and try and do it.